Out of 18 years of playing Diablo 2 and over 4 million copies sold, you can imagine there are a lot of selfish, ego-driven, and stuck-up players in Diablo. Admit it, we have all been that one guy who did something absolutely ridiculous on Diablo 2, and in this video we are going to count down the top 10 idiots. Number 10, the Cow King Killer. The nostalgia of that one guy in your party who went out of his way to not leave the party before killing the Cow King. During the early days of the game, the Secret Cow level was the place to gain the highest experience and drop rates in the game. Unfortunately, if you or anyone in your party kills the Cow King, you cannot create the Cow level in that difficulty anymore. Since trolls in Diablo 2 have been around since the beginning, this was a huge blow to even the veteran players of the time. Number 9, the Perfectionist. Veteran Diablo 2 players have always been obsessed with stat points since the roll on certain items can make or break the value of the drop. The one guy who tells you that one defense or one enhanced damage could make or break your character is trippin'. Items like Call to Arms have a reasonable excuse since the stats give such value to the character. Items like Enigma have no excuse to be complained about when a perfect Enigma only gives you a bonus of 25 defense. Yet certain trading communities go out of their way to overprice a perfect Enigma for 25 defense, which is about the same value as a normal hard leather armor with up to 24 defense at level 5. Number 8, the D2JSP rich guy. There's always that one guy who thinks he's so cool above everyone else because he has thousands of dollars worth of D2JSP forum gold that is used for a trading currency in the game. Most of these users on D2JSP have a monopoly of items due to botting. They will also offer services that bots can be modified for, such as leveling services and more. Number 7, the legit player. The one guy who is like a parole officer in Diablo 2. Since there are dozens of different playstyles, the community of Diablo 2 at times can be at odds. Many of these players are against any type of playstyle that could be anything from legit. A long list is no D2JSP, no botting, no using pluggy, no mods, no trading in public games due to colliding with bot found items, and the list could go on. At times even I am against some of these practices, and it is okay to discuss this topic, but going on a rampage about your political beliefs in a video game can get out of hand. Number 6, every action RPG is a Diablo ripoff. Diablo is legendary in the action RPG hack and slash genre, but when new games of the genre make an appearance that is even close to what Diablo is, this player will consider it a ripoff. Just because an awesome idea and game concept like Diablo is created, doesn't mean that other games shouldn't have the chance to shine and be inspired by Diablo. World of Warcraft, for example, wasn't the first of its kind with the release of games like EverQuest and Dark Age of Camelot before it. Number 5, players that only play Hammerdins and Sorceresses. If you can't kill mass amounts of monsters fast and effectively, your build sucks, says spellcasters alike. This is one of the main unbalanced features in Diablo 2 for players of other classes and builds such as melee characters. Hammerdins and Sorceresses are known for dealing a mass amount of damage in area effect. This gives a disadvantage to melee classes such as Zealers, Frenzy Barbarians, Shape-Shifting Druids, and more. Even though these builds deal a massive amount of damage, the area effect of the damage, if any, is small compared to spellcasters. Players like to branch out at times to play new types of builds, and this can be looked down upon to players who take the game too seriously. Number 4, the Town Camper. You are in a duel game and maybe you pissed off the player who you killed, or you're just in the wrong game at the wrong time. But there's always that one guy who wants to camp outside the rogue encampment to kill you. There's even a town guard summoning druid that will stand at the edge of town and have his summoning bear PK you. Number 3, the Trade Scammer. Saying the word trade and scam in the same sentence talking about Diablo 2 probably brings back some memories from the game you haven't thought of in over 15 years. Let's be honest, we all fell for it at one point, especially when you started playing in the 3rd grade like myself. But this could get extremely annoying when you join a game thinking you are about to get a good deal on a trade, and all of a sudden this guy shows you the item you want and accepts the trade and says his inventory is full. Then he goes back to his stash, switches the item you want for some crap item that has the exact same graphic on the screen and tries to rip you off. One of the most famous practices of this scam is offering a Talrash's armor and then trying to give the victim a Rattle Cage armor. 2. The Join My Clan guy. This was a very popular scam back in the days that was a test a player would put you up to so you could join a clan. Most of the scams involved tricking you into dying and then trying to loot yourself when you don't have room in your inventory. This would then cause all of your items to drop on the ground because your inventory was full, and then the scammer would get away with everything that you had. Number 1. The Picket Hackers. When you're just hovering your mouse over Bale or Diablo waiting for those drops, and there's that one guy with the Picket hack who snatches the item up so fast you couldn't even see what the item was. This is by far the worst feeling for any legitimate player in Diablo 2 and has been super annoying for many years. There's the top 10 idiots of Diablo 2. Links for my Patreon page and Xmas merchandise are in the description below. I love you guys so much. Make sure you guys subscribe if you want to keep up with Diablo 2 content.